Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. We got a guest joining us right now. We've talked to him a couple of times before. Richard Lustig literally wrote the book on how to win the lottery. He's won it, the jackpot, 7 times, and we've got him on the line right now. How are you doing, Richard?
Well, obviously I'm doing pretty good.
Now, what is the official name of your book, sir?
The title is Learn How to Increase Your Chances of Winning the Lottery.
That is awesome, and it's a really neat book. Like I said, we've talked about that in the past, and I wanted to connect with you. And I was kind of hoping we could have talked to you when that jackpot was huge. But the good news is, I know you get really busy when that jackpot goes up. Your phone rings off the hook, doesn't it?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, I can't say I don't enjoy it because I do. But yeah, whenever a jackpot really gets high, next thing I know, I've got all the major networks calling me, and eventually one of the shows says, look, we'll pick up the tab. We want to fly you up here to New York or fly you out here to California. We want you on the show live. I mean, I've been on Good Morning America, I don't know, 6 times, the Fox and Friends, Rachel Ray Show, MSNBC. I was recently on 2020. And then also they brought back the old show from the 50s and 60s, To Tell the Truth.
Yeah. They've
brought it back, and I was on the premiere episode of the first season of bringing the show back. It aired on Tuesday, June 14th, I think it was.
That's
and
awesome.
So I was on the very first show of the new To Tell the Truth.
That's awesome. I was flipping through the channels one day, and I think it was Fox News. There was Richard Lustig. I'm like, well, there's Richard. I've talked to him on the phone before, so it's kind of fun. And now this Mega Millions that we just had a couple weeks ago was a pretty big jackpot, but that wasn't a record. When was the record set for the biggest jackpot ever?
Yeah, the one a few weeks back was Mega Millions, and it went just over $500 million. It was like 540 million, I think. And yet that wasn't even the record breaker. That was about the third or fourth highest jackpot in history. The highest one was this year, back in January, where Powerball got up to $1.6 billion jackpot. $1.6 billion as a jackpot. Can you imagine winning that kind of money?
That is absolutely crazy. And now when they had that win, was that a single winner or was it a lottery pool that won that? Do you remember?
I think it was 3 different winning tickets that won.
And it's really cool when the jackpot goes up, people tend to buy more tickets. More people buy tickets and each person buys more tickets. But even if it's just the minimum, that's a pretty good amount of money to win, isn't it?
It's funny you say that, John, because that's something that always amazes me. You know, as I talk to people all the time, and I get these people who say, well, you know, I don't really buy tickets unless it gets up to like, you know, 300 or 400 million. It's like, what? $40 million isn't enough for you? I don't get the philosophy behind that, John. I mean, if someone wins the jackpot, Powerball goes back to the beginning. It starts at $40 million. I would love to win $40 million every week. Wouldn't bother me at all.
Yeah. That'd be okay. I think I would find a way to make it work if it was just, you know, quote unquote, only $40 million.
Yeah, and even Mega Millions. When someone wins, it goes to the beginning. The beginning of Mega Millions is $15 million. That's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
$15 million. So these people who only come out of the woodworks to play when it's really high up there, you know, I just don't get it. And then they wonder why they lose. Well, because they lose because they're not playing properly, and one of the worst things in the world that most people do, and I talk about this all the time, is they buy quick picks. And you should never, ever buy quick picks. Because when you buy quick pick, and for your listeners who are listening and don't know what a quick pick is, that's when you give the clerk the money and you say, give me a couple tickets for tonight's game. You know, the computer picks your numbers for you.
Yeah.
So every time you buy a quick pick, you're getting a completely different set of numbers. So your odds are always at their worst. For instance, Powerball, the odds of winning are 1 in like 292 million or something like that, and that's Powerball, and Mega Millions is like 250 million or something. So your odds are always at their worst. So if you pick your own numbers and you play them consistently, you will have a better chance of winning. Now, people say to me, well, the lottery people say that more people have won the jackpot who bought a quick pick than those who play their own numbers. Yes, that is a correct statement. They are right. But what they don't tell you is millions and millions and millions of more people have lost buying quick picks than those who play their own numbers.
Yeah, very true. Again, visiting right now with Richard Lustig. And Richard, you won the grand prize jackpot 7 times, is that correct?
Yes, I've won 7 lottery game grand prizes. I'm the only person in the world that has done that. This is very legit. This is not a scam or a joke or anything. All my wins are registered with the Florida State Lottery. And that's just the grand prizes. I've won not only 7 lottery game grand prizes, but I've won hundreds of thousands of dollars in smaller prizes.
And now when you started working on the book, because you've got a book where you kind of teach people this, but when you started working on that, how many had you won at the beginning of when you started working on the book?
I didn't start working on the book until I had won 6. And actually, it wasn't even my idea. I got to give the credit to my son, Nick. After 6 lottery game grand prizes, after the 5th one, people were starting to hound me. They'd see me at the post office. They'd see me at the grocery store. I'd become kind of a local celebrity. And, so the question that I kept getting all the time, what's your secret? What's your secret, So I finally, just for the heck of it, I typed up kind of a short little 9-10-page report of what I was doing to help me win. And I would carry a half a dozen copies with me. So now when people would say to me, what's your secret? I'd say, well, I have it right here in a report. If you'd like to know my secret, I'll sell it to you for $30. And I really didn't expect anybody to buy it, to be honest with you.
That's
but
awesome.
I couldn't believe it. They would snatch them up like crazy. It got to a point where we developed a website, and we were getting so many orders for this 9-10-page report that I had to have a printer print them up for me, hundreds of copies at a time, because I was at first just printing them off my computer printer, like 4 or 5 copies,
Yeah.
So when I won number 6, my son said to me, Dad, you're missing the boat. And I said, what do you mean, Nick? He says, you need to write a book.
Yeah.
And I go, write a book? I'm not an author. I can't write a book, And he says, I'm telling you, look how fast these reports are going. He says, if you wrote a book, it would be phenomenal, So he was right. I wrote the book the day before that my publisher was going to take the book to the printer to have the first set of copies run. The night before, I won number 7.
Nice.
Now, on the front cover of the book, it said, written by Richard Lustig, 6-time lottery game grand prize winner. So I called my publisher first thing that morning. I said, did you take the book to the printer yet? And he said, no, we're getting ready to in a few minutes. I said, well, hold off a minute. He said, why? Did you change your mind? I said, no. I said, you aren't going to believe this. I said, last night I won number 7. He said, you're kidding me. So we decided to just cross out the word 6 instead of replace it. Put an X to the word 6, you can still see it, and then write above it 7, and that's how we printed the book. And now, here we are today, that book is a 2-time number 1 bestseller.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool. And I think that, just the fact that it happened the way that it did makes that story even more fun. Lucky number 7 came, minutes before the books were to be printed. I think that is really, really cool. Yeah,
it's been so exciting. I've had a lot of fun with it, and of course I've made a lot of money with it. But yeah, and so what I've done now is I'm still playing, and I still win, and I'm waiting for win number 8. Every time I've won a grand prize, I kept saying, when I won number 4, I said I'll win number 5, and I did. When I won number 5, I said I'll win number 6, and I did, and so forth. I truly believe I'll win number 8. It's just a matter of when. I don't know when it'll be and what game it'll be, but I know I'll win 8. But until then, what I've been doing for about the last year now is I've gone on a campaign to teach people how to play. It's not that people are stupid. It's they don't know how to play the game. at some friend's house with a bunch of friends, and all of a sudden everybody says, hey, let's play Monopoly. And you've never played Monopoly before. You have no idea how this game is played. What would you do?
Well, you'd hopefully figure out how to play, or at least ask somebody that has played before how to play.
There you go. You ask somebody who knows how to play, what do I do to play this game? And that's what I'm trying to do now, is teach people how to play the lottery, so, like the title of the book says, so they can learn how to increase their chances of winning the lottery. And that's what I'm doing. I'm teaching people. I go around the country. I do speaking engagements. I do telephone one-on-one coaching calls. Whenever I do interviews, I talk about some key points of my method that they should know. And I have on my website, which is winninglotterymethod.com, on my website, I have a page of testimonials. These are real testimonials from real people. It's not just a bunch of garbage that I made up to sell my books. These are people who have bought my method, followed it, and have won and are winning more money than they've ever won before in their lives playing lottery.
That's really cool. Again, the website, winninglotterymethod.com. And I remember after one of the last interviews that we did, we talked maybe, 6 months ago, 9 months ago. I was on that website, and I saw something on there that was fascinating to me, Lottolishus. I was like, what in the world is this? And I sent you a message and said, tell me about this Lottolishus thing. What is this? Now, let's talk about this to the listeners. What is this Lottolishus thing?
Okay, so there are many, many parts of my method that will help people increase their chances of winning. Obviously, if they follow the full method exactly as I teach them, they're going to have the greatest chance of increasing their chances. One of the things that I talk about is lottery pools. People ask me, should you join a lottery pool or not? Yes, you should join a lottery pool. In anything in life, numbers there's a saying, in numbers there's strength or something like that. I forgot how the saying goes. But,
strength in numbers, yeah.
Strength in numbers, there you go. So it's common sense that a person who buys 100 tickets is going to have a better chance of winning than a person who only buys 10 tickets. So by joining a lottery pool, and let's say you got 10 people each buying 10 tickets, now you got 100 tickets you're involved with winning, where before by yourself you only would have had 10. Now, of course, the first thing they say is, well, then you got to split the pie with 10 other people or 9 other people, whatever. I say, hey, a piece of the pie is better than no pie at all. So anyway, I warn people, yes, definitely join a lottery pool. It makes a lot of sense because you're buying with volume. But there are a lot of lottery pools out there that are run improperly. They're done wrong, and that's why they don't win, okay? Or they're not fair. So I even have a report that I sell on my website that teaches people what they should know about lottery pools. So this was going on, and I'm preaching to people about joining lottery pools, and I get calls from lottery pools asking me to endorse their lottery pool, and I would check them out, and they were running it wrong and this and that. Until one day I heard from these guys in California, and they had a lottery pool that they had just started a few months earlier called Lottolishus. And so I did the same thing. I asked them questions. I went to their website and checked it out, and everything that they were doing was right. And I was amazed at how well organized this lottery pool was and how fair it was. And so I said, yes, I will endorse your lottery pool. And since I endorsed their lottery pool, their membership has just gone up tenfold. It's just amazing. But what's so cool about this lottery pool is you don't do anything. All you do is there's a monthly administration fee of $8 a month, big deal. And if you pay the year in advance, you pay only $80, so you're really getting 2 months free. Okay, so that's good. And then you decide how many tickets you want to buy. Now, as an example, one of the questions I would always ask these lottery pool people is, well, how many tickets can a person buy in a drawing in your lottery pool? And they would say, well, as many as they want. Well, as soon as they said that, I wasn't interested, because that shows me that they didn't care if that person was spending more money than they can afford to spend. They just wanted to get their piece of the administration fee or whatever. And see, I preach budget all the time to people. You know, people get caught up in lottery fever, and I tell them, don't spend grocery money, don't spend rent money. Figure out what you can afford to spend and stay in your budget. So when I asked these guys, well, how many tickets can a person buy in a drawing? They say, we only allow people to buy up to 5 tickets in any game. And I said, oh, really? I said, and why is that? And they said, because we don't want people to spend more money than they can afford to spend. This way, we keep them from doing that. And I said, that was the exact answer I was looking for. I said, yes, I will endorse your lottery pool. So that's what's good about Lottolishus. You can join, you can play either Mega Millions or Powerball, or you can play both. You can buy as little as 1 ticket, or you can buy up to 5 tickets for each game. They do all the work. And the one thing, another thing that a lot of lottery pools make a mistake is they collect the money each week from everybody. And what do? They take the money, they go down to the local store, and they buy 100 quick picks. Oh my gosh, that is so dumb. That is just the worst thing to do. These guys, Lottolishus, you submit your set of numbers you want them to play for you. If you're buying more than 1 ticket, you submit more than 1 set of numbers. And then whatever your set of numbers are, you will get your own little home page on the Lottolishus website. And you'll be able to see your set of numbers, what you chose, and that's what they play for you. They play your set of numbers every draw in that game, or in both games if you're playing both. So they keep track of your ticket numbers. They buy the tickets. You get an email report from them every week or after every drawing showing you if you won something or not or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And let me tell you right now, I've been with them now, I don't know, 6 months or so, whatever it's been. Since I joined Lottolishus, I have won something, even though most of them have been very small amounts, but I've won something every single Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday of every single week since I joined. And Tuesdays and Fridays are Mega Millions, and Wednesdays and Saturdays are Powerball. And I've won something in every draw. Nice.
You can't ask for much more than that, can you?
Nope. To me, it's a perfect lottery pool. If you're going to get involved in one, that's the one I recommend you get involved in.
Again, Lottolishus is the name of that, and we actually have a membership on there, and I set up a simple website for people to go to so they didn't have to try to figure out how to spell anything. So we just set up radiolottopool.com, and that's our little page. And as you were talking about, everybody gets a page like that. So once you join, if you say, hey, I want my mom and my cousins and my friends and my sisters to be in this with me, it's really simple. It's really easy to share, and you just send out a link, and people can sign up and join. And it's been a whole lot of fun to watch it grow, and I know we've got listeners that are on there, we've got friends that are on there, and we're in your lotto pool, I believe, aren't we, Richard?
Yeah. You're as you join, you have to be sponsored by somebody. So John, you've been sponsored by me, so you're under my name, and all the people that join your lotto pool will be in your, they call it a universe, that's what they call it. So they'll be in your universe, which automatically puts them in my universe. So my universe is the largest universe on Lottolishus right now. And it will stay that way because of my, and I don't mean to sound arrogant here at all or egotistical, but because of my name, it's pretty powerful in the lottery world. So many, many people join under my name. So by joining your lottery pool, what is it called again?
Radio Lotto Pool. I tried to make it pretty easy. radiolottopool.com.
So if those who are listening to the show, if they join radiolottopool.com, they will be in John's lottery pool, in your lottery pool, your universe, and then they'll automatically be in my universe. So now, when anybody in my universe wins, I automatically get a piece of that. And then 5 people in my universe will get a piece of that, which will include all your people. So there's so many ways to win with Lottolishus. It's just, like I said, in my opinion, it's the best lottery pool out there.
That's really cool. Well, Richard, I really appreciate you taking some time to chat with us, and we're going to send folks out to find your book. Where do they go if they'd like to just find a direct link to find that and make it really easy for them?
The best way to buy my book is to go right to my website, which is winninglotterymethod.com.
Again, winninglotterymethod.com. Our guest today has been Richard Lustig. Richard, thank you again.
John, it's always a pleasure being on your show, and I can't wait till we do an interview after I've won number 8.
That sounds great. I hope it's soon. That would be fantastic. Again, Richard Lustig. And he's won the grand prize 7 times, and that'd be awesome to see number 8. And I hope that you do it through the Radio Lotto pool, so I get a piece of it too. Does that sound pretty selfish?
Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fun?
All right. Again, Richard Lustig. Thank you, folks, for listening on a Wednesday on the John and Heidi Show.